What if the secret to human genius was hidden inside a brain and someone stole it? This isn't a sci-fi movie plot. It's the bizarre true story of what happened after Albert Einstein died on April 18, 1955, at Princeton Hospital. The world lost its most famous scientist. But in the quiet of the autopsy room, a pathologist named Dr. Thomas Harvey made a shocking decision. Without anyone's permission, he sawed open Einstein's skull and removed his brain. He even took the physicist's eyeballs, which ended up in a safe deposit box in New York City. Einstein had specifically requested to be cremated without any ceremony, wanting to avoid becoming a relic. His family was furious when they found out the most important part of him was missing after the cremation was already done. But Harvey was driven by a single, obsessive goal to figure out what made Einstein a genius. He wasn't going to let rules, or even the law, stop him. Harvey preserved the brain, which weighed slightly less than average, in a jar of fat. He photographed it from every conceivable angle before starting the real work. Over 3 long months, he painstakingly dissected it into about 240 small blocks. He then encased these pieces in a plastic-like substance and created over 1,000 microscopic slides. But he knew he couldn't solve this mystery alone. He started mailing pieces of Einstein's brain to neuroscientists across the country, creating a secret, unofficial brain trust to hunt for anatomical clues to genius. The fallout was immediate and brutal. Harvey was fired from Princeton Hospital, lost his medical license, and became an outcast in the scientific community. The scandal exploded when the New York Times got wind of the story. But Harvey was undeterred. He packed the remaining brain fragments into mason jars, stashed them in a beer cooler labeled Costa Cider, and hit the road. For the next 40 years, he lived a nomadic life, working odd jobs while obsessively guarding the brain of Albert Einstein in the trunk of his car. This was his treasure, his scientific quest, and his personal ruin. As scientists began studying the samples Harvey sent them, some strange discoveries emerged. A 1985 study found that Einstein's parietal lobes, the part of the brain crucial for math and spatial reasoning, were unusually wide. He was also missing a common wrinkle called the Sylvian fissure, which might have allowed his neurons to communicate more effectively. Another analysis found a higher ratio of glia cells to neurons, which could have fueled faster, more intense thinking. These weren't average features. They were tantalizing hints that Einstein's brain was physically different, perhaps built for the kind of abstract thought that led to the theory of relativity. But the story just kept getting weirder. Harvey would occasionally show off his prize. He once met a journalist in a diner and pulled a jar with a chunk of the brain right out of that old beer cooler. Some pieces were sent to the US Army for secret tests. Others were simply lost or forgotten. By the 1990s, Harvey was getting old, and he started to release his grip on the brain. He returned some fragments to Princeton, where modern imaging techniques confirmed that certain areas had a denser packing of neurons. especially in regions linked to imagination and problem solving. In 1998, a landmark study in The Lancet confirmed that parts of Einstein's brain were indeed 25% wider than average. Researchers also found his brain cells had more complex and numerous branches, suggesting faster and more powerful connections. But the ultimate question remained. Was Einstein born with a special brain, or did his relentless thinking physically change it over time through a process called neuroplasticity? Thomas Harvey died in 2007, having sacrificed his career, his marriage, and his reputation for his obsessive quest. He reportedly died content, believing he had served science. Today, the surviving pieces of Einstein's brain are displayed in museums, like the Mutter Museum in Philadelphia, and studied in labs. The grisly heist never revealed a single genius button, reminding us that brilliance is a mix of anatomy, curiosity, and hard work. But as technology like AI and genetic sequencing advances, who knows what secrets these stolen fragments might reveal next? Thanks for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the strangest corners of history. See you next time.